Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Nowonshall coming at you with yet another Star Trek Weekend video. Today, we're going to talk about Solar Armadas, and we're going to do the Borg into a little bit so that we can talk about both of them and crewing. I got to do a big shout out to Blue Mandalorian because the image that he provided will help you guys be able to do Solar Armadas with the crewing and keep it simple for you guys. Like, I personally like it, and like most of you like it. You just want a basic cookie cutter Armada grouping or Armada set. This is what I'm going to provide for you. And then in this video, I'm going to test out Locutus' ability for the Solar Armada before you put them on and after you put them on to see if there's a huge difference in it. And don't forget that like, that subscribe, that bell notification down below. Remember below that, don't forget to leave a comment what your thoughts about this video are, if you have any questions or concerns or anything. Don't forget, I do have donation links listed down below. I have a PayPal, Cashapp, and Venmo. If you guys want to help out, remember this is my main source of income. This is what I use to help support my family and myself. So if you want to donate, those are all listed down below. And if you guys don't forget to check out that description, come join my Discord. And don't forget, I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 to 9 Pacific Standard Time. If you like to join it, I always have fun in there. I always try to help you guys out. We have just random conversations in there. It's just for the fun. That's why we're in there. So I want to take a look before we get into the exact the video while our ships are flying in. We're going to do a little zoom. Go to my desktop. So I'm going to go to my desktop. Bam. So we have 3 sets of Armada crews here. And these are all, like I said, all provided by Blue Mandalorian. So the first set of ones that I use normally, which I love, not normally. There's one I don't use in this set. Actually, I think I used. I'm trying to find mine, the one I actually use. All right, I'll go through them. So for the first one I use right here. So we get 5, 6, and con. So you get a why you use them is loot bonus, a loot boost, mitigation, piercing, critical chance. So loot bonus right in the middle and mitigation right there with these two, 5 and 6. And con, every time you get hit, you increase your critical chance every round. And remember, if we look at our ships and we see right here on the right side, right, our base crit is 22%. So every round with him at my level, so as we see right here at my level, I gain 5% every round. So every time I get hit, I get 5% more crit. And then the secondary crew is that I actually use on my secondary ship because he uses it on his B, but I use it, or his C, but I use it on my B, is Picard, Beverly, and Eurydice, or Eurydice as Dale calls it. And why I use this is mitigation and literally shields for days, because you get what one thing is crit from Picard at his officer ability, and then you get mitigation from Beverly, and then with Eurydice you get shields for days, literally because of their base ability. And why we use that? So we go over to him, and we go to his captain ability. It says Jean-Luc Picard increases effectiveness of officer abilities by 120% while in combat. So that helps both officers on the deck. And his secondary ability is going to be Jean-Luc Picard increases crit chance by 10% every round. So every round it goes up by 10%. So we see here his original crit is 22%. So 10% of 22 is 2.2. So every round you go up by 2.2% or cumulative over rounds. So you start to be able to crit more. And of course, Beverly is going to be, game kicked me out. Beverly is going to be, well, when fighting hostiles, an Armada Beverly increases armor, shield, and deflection and dodge by 300%. So remember, mitigation is what your shields absorb. It is not anything that misses the shot. It is not anything that actually happens to them, because every shot in the game hits. Is just how much mitigation mitigates. It's basically like the Borg adaptive shields, where whenever they see something, it adapts, or whenever you see the shields like fluctuate in the game or on the TV show, that is it fluctuating for its mitigation, adapting. All right. So our next crew is going to be, well, he has Lorca on this one. I don't use Lorca for my C crew. It's his mitigation, crit chance, multiple shots, and hull breach. But I don't use Lorca. I actually do full synergy on this crew. So we'll take a look at it right now. So as we see right here, we go back in the game fully, and we look at the crew right here. So we have our main one is Benjamin Sisko increases armor shield mitigation by 1400 by your health of your ship. So you get a stack health on the bottom of your ship. And then we have Luck of the Irish. So for 3 rounds, Miles O'Brien has 35 chance to increase your shots by 100%. So if you get that chance, you increase your damage output per round. And then right here, Benjamin Sisko increases by 4%. So remember, we saw that base right here. We saw that base crit at 20%, 4% every round increases, cumulative. And then I use Bashir because of his ability. It says Julian Bashir increases crit chance by 25%. So I like to get as much crits as possible to make the rounds as short as possible. So we'll run this one right now. Before we run it, we're gonna run it with Spock. I don't have a Locutus on, which is down here under there unlocked. So let's run it. Boom. Boom. And boom, we'll run that. And while we're running it, we'll go over some of the other crews that Blue Mandalorian suggests. So we're going to go back to our desktop while it's running. So as you see here, he has another one is 5 miles and con. So we have loot boost, mitigation, which is going to be right in the middle, which is 5. Then we have multiple shots, which is going to be miles. And then we have crit chance. And his next one is Geordi, Bev, and Picard. So loot boost, mitigation, and extra damage. That's all it is. So Geordi is loot boost. If you want to get that loot one in, and you want X mitigation as well, Bev, and then extra damage is Picard. And his next one versus Enterprise, which he says right here, Enterprise, you have you have Sisko, Kelvin Kirk, and Lorca. So you have mitigation, shield regen for the Enterprise, hull breach, and crit damage from Lorca. And his third crew he suggests is Sisko. Our third set is Sisko, Miles, and Bashir, like the one I'm running. Mitigation, multiple shots, crit chance. But he forgets to add is synergy, which helps Sisko and your mitigation. His three crew is 5, 6, and con. Okay, that's normal. And this Enterprise is going to be it's going to be Kelvin Kirk, Bev, and Lorca. Mitigation, shield regen, and hull breach. Those are his 3 suggested. So those 3 are going to work really well for you. As you see, the Enterprise has a specific crew. You have the Defiant technically has a specific crew, and so on and so on. It works for Borg armadas, and it works for Jem'Hadar armadas, Gemmadas, whatever armadas you want to call them. Boom. We just finished that round. And you see, if we look at all the stats, boom, we had nothing on. As you see in the log, let me grab the log for you guys. So as you see at the beginning of the round, we're doing 31 million, 31 million, 29 million, 7 million, 7 million. And then the Quarry crits at 33 million. And then the Katinga crits at 24 million. And we go down rounds. Let's just go to the 8th round, which is going to be where you start seeing all the crits start to happen. As you see right here, here's the 6th round. The Katinga crits, Kelvin crits, crit. After a while on these things, you start to see all the crits. And why you see the Kelvin shooting so much is because of Miles' ability, which is amazing. Miles' ability, see the Coronar 98 million crit, 100 million crit. And this is bigger on these armadas due to the fact of, let me pull this back while I'm explaining to you guys so we can run one more with Jean-Luc Picard. So I'm going to pull all these guys back again. And pull them all back to the base so we can make sure his ability is going to work for us in this one. So let's bring them back. Boom. Bam. Bam. And bam, let's repair them and send them back out. We'll do some more explanation after we swap out the commander, our fleet commander, our FC. So let's swap out the FC so we can increase our damage per round, which I think is going to be kind of negligible when you come down to Solar Armada's Borg, but not the other one. So let's swap them out. And then click here. Confirm. Got a 6-hour cooldown there. And then 40%. And we'll go over that. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back when they're there.
1 eternity later.
All right, and we're back. Sorry about the interruption. So we're going to take a look while the ships are coming. There is specific research that you want to do before you do Borg Solar Armadas. If you haven't done it yet, it's going to be in your combat tree, and it's going to cost you charge probes. So we go right here, and we have Klingon, Federation, Romulan, and Jellyfish, ISS Jellyfish. Increases you by damage by 35% for your Klingon ships. Federation, Romulan, and Jelly, you have to do that those if you want to be able to do these armadas. It costs you 8,300 for them. You have to use that and do these armadas. If not, you're not gonna really do any damage to them. And then why they say it, some people were comparing to say, why don't you use your Vidar? Why don't you use your Vidar? Your Vidar isn't made for these. Unless that is your strongest ship, your Vidar isn't made for these. But it's good. The Vidar is gonna do damage. If you see here, we go here as cybernetic augmentation, which is that same amount of damage you saw in the buff, but the Vidar has it naturally. The Vidar increases damage for Borg hostiles specifically. So that's one of the things. And as we're waiting here, we're gonna take a look at our fleet commander one more time. So we go to skill tree. The one thing that we want to take a look at is this one. Increases damage against Solar Armadas. So this is Locutus. This is what he does. He increases it by 40% your output. And he has really nothing else besides like Federation related ones. And then he has increases piercing stats against players. So this is your PvP tree. And this right one is repair. And then increases shield deflection for explorers, which is going to help on this one by 70%, which is going to be nice. And yeah, that's most of it. So as we were waiting still another minute before we do these armadas, we'll take a look at the crewing one more time. So let's go to our desktop one more time. So like I said, these are the crews that you want to look at. I'll throw them in my YouTube docs on my Discord. So you're going to have to join my Discord to see these. I'll throw them up on there so you guys have them. Like I said, big shout out to Blue Mandalorian for these ones because I do like these kind of things. I like it simple. I like to be able to like say, hey, this is what you do. This is exactly what you do. These are the exact crews that you want to use for our solar armadas. And you have extra crews that you could technically use for your normal armadas when you're doing it with your allies, your teammates, whatever you want to call them. My favorite one is going to be the top. Well, besides Lorca, I like having a full synergy crew for my DS9 crew. It's going to be a full synergy for me. Like I said, it's full synergy. I'll show you one more time in game as well. My ships arrive. So as you see here, full wrong one. Full synergy right there. Bashir, Miles. That's personally me. That's what I do personally. As you see with these armadas, I am not running any buffs for these armadas. So let's start the armada back up again with Locutus as the commander. And we'll do it one more time. So we'll see a damage increase for this. We're going to see a decent size damage increase for it. And we're going to be able to see, well, decent. We'll be able to see because our last one, our last Borg essay lasted us what? 7 rounds or 9 rounds, right? 8 rounds. So if we get a round off, then we could see him actually working. If we don't see any net difference, then he's going to be more useful for your Jem'Hadar armadas versus the Sporg armadas. So let's go take a look at it one more time as we're waiting it out. We got a minute and 50 cents left. So remember, the crewing wise is going to be 5-6 con. Secondary crew is going to be Picard, Bev, and Eurydice, which is going to be shields for days, which is amazing. And our third crew is going to be Cisco. Could be Dax, could be Miles, or it could be Bashir for your crewing. I don't use Changeling Kira for it. I don't use normal Kira for it. I just use those sets, and they've been working out wonderfully for me. And that Picard, Bev, and Eurydice combo is just flat out amazing for these. I've been showing my subscribers, my Twitch subscribers, if you want to know first for these videos, you got to watch my Twitch because I do talk about them regularly before I create these videos. As we see, I have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, hurry up and finish these armadas. Because, yeah, I'll be running these for a little bit, hopefully, and make a place in it. So, boom. We're going to finish our armada. And let's see. We had a little more health this round. So, as we see here, we're still at 9 rounds, so we didn't really see a huge difference. We just see a more consistent damage across the board. If I had Spock's Club, I would take it out and show you guys if there is a huge amount of damage. But it's really negligible using him on these armadas for Locutus, but he's going to be a worthwhile purchase in the long run because he's good for PvP, good for solos, good for stuff just across the board. If you like the video, don't forget to leave a comment down below or questions or anything down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Don't forget to hit that notification. Don't forget there is a donation link listed down below, PayPal, Cashapp, and Venmo if you want to help donate. This is my main source of income. As you see the number up top, that is my monthly one, and 11 days left if you guys want to help out. Don't forget I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And don't forget to check out my Discord, my favorite place to be. If you want to have questions or check out or look it up, go check it out. All right, guys, it is Nowonshall. Peace out and have a wonderful day.